Chris, once more on FIBO. Ursa is just gone, and now we have a new version of FIBO here in Germany. Last year moving from Cologne to from Essen to Cologne, and now it even grew. How do you think about the new situation here in FIBO?
Well, we miss Essen in some ways because we were there for so many years and became very familiar with it. But Cologne is a spectacular city. It's a beautiful place to come, and we love the venue. The hall is great. You know, the sound and the feeling and the energy here and the excitement that we have from not only our people but from our customers. And we have customers here from literally every continent. It's just a great place.
Frank, you're responsible for the markets out of America, and I think people is getting more and more international. What are you thinking about the markets? I think if we have a look around, it's really getting more and more crowded in here. Does this reflect the markets all over the world?
Oh yes, if you look at the industry is growing, and you can see that. The industry is broadening. You have now much more segments. It's not just the club segment anymore, it's broadening as well. So yes, it's definitely growing and growing.
And how does your company react on that?
Well, we have to look at all the different customer types and anticipate where they're headed and get there before they get there. In some cases, you don't ask the customer what it is that they want, you ask them what they need. And then you create product to meet their needs that have been unmet. And when they do that, and you have products like the Blue Sky behind you, which is an outdoor functional training piece, you create products that nobody asked for, but they needed. And so now they're saying, wow, that's amazing.
So in which region are these, for example, these outdoor cages, Blue Sky, are going to develop first?
I think the starting point will be in the US, especially with the professional leads, but actually there is no place where it will start first. You can go to China, you can go to other places in India, in Europe. We have customers who say, hey, we have a nice place on our rooftop, like in Spain, where they do paddle tennis, and now they see this opportunity and say, maybe we convert 2 paddle tennis areas into a synergy outdoor unit. So there's so many options with this. I think the biggest thing here is more customers realize that within the 4 walls is becoming too limited. They need to create a community where people can work inside the 4 walls, but also outside the 4 walls. At the club, but also in home, and create this community where people just like to work out, move more, and become more healthy and fit.
So, and what else are the focuses of live fitness at the moment, and maybe in the future?
Well, we've had a tremendous influx of product here. We have our new Flex Strider, which is a user-defined variable motion elliptical, which is brand new. The Power Mill, which is the first motorized stair climber. We have our Hammer Select product that we've launched here, which is an entire line of selectorized hammer equipment. The HD Elite product, which is expanded, and we have new offerings and trainings to go with that. And then we talked about the Blue Sky. So it's sort of an overwhelming situation for our sales guys because there's so many new things to talk about. And then even with our Discover console, our tablet console, we have new offerings in the form of apps that have been developed for the product, including GPS, including our Fitbit app. You know, we still have our Runtastic and Lose It apps that we introduced. So there's so much going on. It's in some cases it's more than they can handle.
So you've got a big skill, big portfolio, of course. But I think it's getting a more and more challenge to react out of our view to the developing structures in the market with the gyms belong. You know, for example, we get more and more chains coming to Germany in this case. But I think the chains are going to be more and more global. So how can you handle this? You know, that the single gyms are getting maybe a little bit less in the market, and the chains are getting bigger and bigger. Do you have to react on their wishes in a special way?
We look at all the wishes. You know, there's no specific wish from a bigger customer or a smaller customer. In the end, it is about their customers that are interesting. And you know, their customers are already there. It doesn't matter where they work out. It's really getting into the skin on how do we get more people moving. And it's not our customer, but it's our customer that has certain needs that we are looking into, because that's really what our customers should be interested in, because that will drive their businesses.
Maybe one more theme, the electronic part. You know, we have these multimedia panels. Where is it going there? You know, I think this is quite new, but all the people outside are having screens and screens and screens everywhere. Everything is smart now, smart TV, smartphones, and now we have smart machines. What do you think about these developments?
Well, smart needs to be well thought out as well. You can make it incredibly complex and make it difficult for someone to use, which has never been our intent. We want to make them as easy as possible, and we do that not just for the customer who's using it, this end customer, but also for the operator. So one of the challenges with these multimedia consoles was, how do you connect them? If you have to recable your entire facility, it's not only very expensive, but may not be able to be done physically. And so we were the first to integrate with Wi-Fi, so we have Wi-Fi so you can wirelessly connect to the internet, but the content that the person wants to bring is unique to the individual. So our open platform, our API, if you will, allows people to develop their own content. So not just what we provide them with, but if they want to create their own content, they're able to do that. We've been talking quite a bit about all the new cardiovascular equipment and our outdoor functional training piece, but we've also launched a product line to replace the best-selling signature line it's the #1 selling strength line in the history of the industry, and we replaced it with an amazing product that we call Insignia. It's not only elegant looking, but it's between 6 and 8 inches shorter than our old product, so it creates great sight lines in the facility. But what we like to think of it as being is, if there were an iPhone that was a piece of strength equipment, it would look like that.
Oh, but the opposite is behind you, hammer strength. This is back to the roots. I think we have a development in this market. What about hammer strength? How is it going?
I can tell you, outside the US, because the market was really there in the US, and then over the last couple of years, we have adopted all these positive things from hammer strength. And if you see the sales, how that was growing, it was growing 432% over the last 3 years outside the US. Because now we realize, one, there is a performance market, but also to create a shop-in-shop model within our existing facilities, where there are, coming back to the customers, people who want to take strength training a bit more serious. So now you start creating these different models within a club. We call it the journey, where people can progress from, let's say, doing it very simple when they haven't worked out in the past, to more progression with Signature in the past and now launching Insignia, to, let's say, the ultimate strength training units where you're really into progression and strength training, and that's the Hammer Strength brand.